Hello, grade fours. For those of you who are still a little bit confused about the timeline slide, I'm going to show again how to do it. Just a reminder, a timeline is an infographic that shows progression over time in a graphic way. So it will have some visuals and a little bit of text. And what you need to do is choose a few of the main events in your leader's life. And I'm going to show you that step by step. The first thing you want to do is create a line from left to right or right to left on the width of the slide. So I'm going to go up here to the line tool. And when you click on the little arrow, you've got different options. And one of them is the arrow. Okay. That's what I'm showing you the simplest way. Of course, you can make your own variation of it. So I'm going to click the arrow. And I'm going to place it roughly around the middle in the height of the slide. And I want to make a straight line, so I'm going to hold the shift button down while drawing it. And I'm going to make it all the way across, like this. And then I'm going to go, you see it gives me tools. While you select a line, you get all sorts of tools. You can choose the type of arrow you use, the arrowhead. I'm going to keep it with this one. But I'm going to go here to the line weight, which is another word of saying how thick it is. And I'm going to choose, let's say, number 8. So it's a bit thicker, maybe even 12. And because we've got a dark background to the slide, I'm going to choose a lighter color. This is where you choose your line color. And let's say I will make it white. Okay, so that's my line. Okay, and obviously, well, at the beginning of the arrow, that's the things that happen first. And we go in this direction, the progression of time. So the arrowhead is basically today. Okay, and we're kind of moving on with time. So typically when we talk about a person, the first thing you will put on the timeline is the birth date. And to do that, you're going to take a shape. So you can choose a rectangle or this rectangle with rounded corners, but you can use any shape basically. It's really up to you. And I'm going to put it here. And then I'm going to type here, born. I'll just make up an imaginary date on the 4th of January 1960. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a little bit now. And you can make, of course, you can change this text. You can make it a little bit bigger. You can make it in a slightly different font if you want to make it a little bit more funky. And decide how you want it to look like. You might want to center it inside the box. So I'm going to look at my line alignment and I can center it on the horizontal and vertical axis. And maybe you want to give this box a different color. I'll just keep mine all white. And now you want to connect it to your line. Okay, so it doesn't just float, but actually connect it to the timeline. The way you do that is go again to the line tool, but I'm going to select a simple line. And you will see that when you're on the line tool, you come to a square, you get those little anchors. So I'm going to place my cursor on the anchor, hold the shift down so that I can make a straight line, and I'm going to drag it straight into my timeline. There we go. And then I'm going to try to make a line that looks same as this one. So the weight here was 12 and the color is white. So that's my first marker. I'm going to zoom out. This is my first marker. Let's say that I want to add another marker to my timeline. And by the way, markers could be for a specific date, like a birthday is one day, or they can be a period. For example, if someone has been the prime minister of a country or held some prestigious position in a governmental office or anything like that, it could have done it for a certain amount of years. And then you can just put that in a box, and you say you put the number of years, or you can kind of have it take a whole section of your timeline. Okay, but the easiest way is to do it in the box. Let's say this person was born 1960, so maybe he graduated from university when he was 25, let's say, so that would be 1985. So I'm going to insert another box, and I'm going to put this one underneath the timeline, just so it'll have more space. Let me zoom in again. So again, the process is you go to the shapes, you select the shape that you want to use, and you can stick to the same shapes, or you can change the shapes. It's really up to you. You can play with the colors if you want to. And I'll say graduated from medicine, or graduated from university with a degree in medicine. Okay, this is someone who's going to be a doctor. I've got a spelling mistake here. I can see by the squiggly red line. Let's fix it. You can again change the color if you wanted. It's really up to you, the design. Okay, and once again, let's zoom in a little bit. I'm going to select the line tool, come here to get the anchor, and this time I'm going to drag it upwards. There we go. Let's make this line 12 points and make it white. All right. One thing to consider is, so imagine this is 1960 and this is today, 2020. So we've got a spread of 80 years in between. 60 years. So you got to place your markers in some way that makes sense. Okay, if from here to here 60 years, so halfway will be about 30 years, and this will be about jumps of 10 years. So just try to plan it in a way that makes sense. Once you've got all your boxes, you want to make it a little bit more visual, because remember, this is an infographic. An infographic will often have images, so it's very clear to know what each marker represents. And that you're going to do with little images. Okay, so I'm going to look for an image for birth, and I'm going to look for an image for medicine school. You can look on the internet, or you can simply go straight to the Explore tool. And let's say this is a man. So I'm going to look here for baby boy. Sorry, that jumped to a different place. For baby boy, clip art. And I'm going to click one of those. And click on images. And I'm going to use this cute little guy. Insert it. And I'm going to place it above my birthmark marker. Okay. And you can break that link, remove the link. Of course, you have another option. You can make this box bigger and have the picture inside the box. We did lose the text here, so I'm going to need to align this text to the bottom of the box. I'll show you how to do that. You go to text alignment, and on the vertical axis, you put it on the bottom. And then I can place this little picture inside. Okay, so the idea is that when you see that, you know straight away this talks about, early childhood or birth or something like that. I'm going to do the same for my second marker. And this time I'm going to look for something that represents medical school. Let's look for medicine. Clip art. Yeah, like this one. Perfect, insert. And remember, this is a video for you to use, so you don't have to watch everything in one go. You can close it, pause it, do a bit of the work, and then go back to it at any point. That's what it's there. It's a tutorial for you to use at your own time. This time I'm going to take this text and I'm going to align it to the top of the box. So here's my text alignment tools, and I want on vertical axis to align to the top, and might as well align to the center. Now I can take this picture and I can place it inside, so it's clear that they go hand in hand. And maybe I can make this box a bit narrower. There we go. Okay, so this is how you build that. And anywhere between 5 to 8 markers on your timeline will be fantastic. The main point here is that you learn a tool, you learn a visual language of representing information. So if we look back at our whole project, then we started with the ID card was representing information in a sort of bullet point way. It's very short and there's not a lot of describing words, it's just information. The life story represents the same information, but allows you to write it in the form of a story in sentences, and therefore you can be more descriptive in it. And it's just it flows more like a story or a paragraph, and the timeline is a visual representation, so it has some visuals, some a little bit of words, and it shows you progression in a very clear way. I hope you found that helpful, and I'm looking forward to see your work. And you can do it today, or you can take the weekend to finish it. And once it's finished, please share it with me. Thank you very much, boys and girls. Have a wonderful weekend and good luck with your project.